Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling completely exhausted, even after sleeping a full 7 or 8 hours? You close your eyes at night, you think everything is fine, but something is quietly happening inside your brain while you sleep, something that most seniors have no idea about. And today, a growing number of doctors and neurologists are sounding the alarm about one specific sleep habit that millions of people over the age of 60 are doing every single night, completely unaware of the damage it is causing. So if you are over 60, or if you have a parent or grandparent who is, please watch this entire video, because what you are about to hear could genuinely protect the most important organ in your body, your brain. Now, before we get into the science, I want you to think about something. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly refreshed, truly sharp, clear-headed, and ready for the day? If you are struggling to remember that feeling, there is a reason for it, and that reason might be happening every single night while you are completely unconscious. Sleep is not just rest. Let me say that again. Sleep is not just rest. While you are sleeping, your brain is doing some of the most critical work of your entire day. It is processing memories. It is flushing out toxic waste. It is repairing cells. It is regulating your hormones, your emotions, your immune system. Sleep, for the brain, is like a nightly maintenance cycle. And when that cycle is disrupted, even slightly, the effects build up slowly, quietly, and dangerously over time. Now here's what doctors are specifically warning about: the habit, the common, everyday, completely innocent-looking habit that is interfering with this brain maintenance cycle in seniors. And that habit is sleeping with the TV on. Yes, something that simple, something that millions of people do every single night because it feels comforting, because it helps them fall asleep faster, because the silence feels too lonely or too loud. Sleeping with the TV on, and the research behind why this is damaging senior brains is absolutely eye-opening. Let me explain what happens. When you fall asleep with the television on, your brain does not fully switch off from processing that sound and light. Even though you are not consciously watching or listening anymore, your brain is still registering what is happening. The flickering light from the screen sends signals through your eyelids to your brain. The changing volumes, the dramatic music, the sudden loud commercials, all of it reaches your brain even in sleep. And here's where it gets serious. Your brain has a sleep cycle. It moves through different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM or REM sleep. Deep sleep and REM sleep are the two most important stages for brain health. During deep sleep, your brain activates what scientists call the glymphatic system. Think of it like a drainage system for your brain. It flushes out toxic proteins, including a protein called beta amyloid, which is directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. During REM sleep, your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and restores cognitive function. When the television is on, your brain is constantly being pulled back toward lighter stages of sleep. The light and sound act as interruptions, tiny, invisible interruptions that your conscious mind does not notice, but your brain absolutely does. You are not getting the deep, uninterrupted sleep your brain desperately needs. And every single night that this happens, those toxic proteins are not being fully cleared. Those memories are not being properly stored. That repair work is not being completed. And for seniors, this is especially dangerous. Here's why. As we age, our sleep naturally becomes lighter. Our bodies produce less melatonin, which is the hormone that helps us fall into deep sleep. Our sleep cycles become shorter and more fragile. So a younger person might be able to tolerate some background TV noise and still drop into a reasonably deep sleep. But for someone over 60, the brain is already fighting to reach deep sleep on its own. Add a television into the equation, and you're making a difficult job nearly impossible. Studies have shown that people who are regularly exposed to artificial light during sleep, including television light, have significantly higher rates of cognitive decline. A 2022 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academies of Sciences found that even one night of sleeping with a light source on impaired insulin resistance and increased heart rate during sleep, and long-term disruption of this kind has been linked to memory problems, difficulty concentrating, increased risk of depression, and a measurably higher risk of developing dementia. Let that sink in. A habit that feels completely harmless, even comforting, is silently, gradually, night after night, contributing to one of the most feared conditions in aging adults. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, I've been sleeping with the TV on for 20 years and I feel fine. And I hear you. The insidious thing about this kind of damage is that it's cumulative. It builds slowly. You don't feel it happening. You might notice you're a little more forgetful than you used to be, a little more tired during the day, a little more irritable or emotionally sensitive, but you chalk it up to just getting older, and that's exactly the problem. We accept cognitive decline as a normal part of aging, when in many cases it's not inevitable. It's a result of habits we can actually change. There's also another layer to this that doctors are deeply concerned about. The content on television before bed matters enormously. News programs, crime dramas, intense reality shows, these types of content trigger a stress response in your brain. They activate your sympathetic nervous system, raise your cortisol levels, and put your brain in a state of alertness. Falling asleep in this state means your brain is trying to complete its nightly restoration work while still partially wound up. And cortisol, the stress hormone, actively interferes with the deep sleep stages your brain needs most. So it's a double problem. The light disrupts your sleep cycles, and the content raises your stress hormones, both working against your brain health at the same time, every night for years. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do about this, because this video is not about making you feel scared or hopeless. It's about giving you real, practical information that can make a difference. The most important step is the obvious one: turn the TV off before you sleep. I know that sounds simple. I know for many people it sounds almost impossible because that background noise has become a sleep association. Your brain has learned to rely on it to fall asleep, but that association can be changed. It takes patience, and it takes about 2 to 3 weeks of consistency, but it absolutely can be done. If silence feels too uncomfortable, try replacing the television with something that does not produce light and does not have unpredictable, stimulating content. A white noise machine is an excellent option. Soft, consistent background sounds, rain, ocean waves, gentle static, give your brain the subtle auditory comfort it might be craving without the damaging light and irregular stimulation of a television. There are many free apps and affordable devices that provide this. Audiobooks or podcasts with a sleep timer can also be helpful for people who need a voice in the room to feel calm. Set it to turn off after 20 or 30 minutes, so by the time you're actually in deep sleep, the sound has stopped. Make your bedroom as dark as possible. This means not just the TV, it means covering any standby lights on devices, using blackout curtains if street lights come through your window, and removing or covering any LED lights. Darkness is not just a preference, it's a biological requirement for proper melatonin production and healthy sleep cycles. One more thing that doctors want seniors to know. If you've been sleeping with the TV on for years and you're now experiencing noticeable memory issues, difficulty with word finding, mood changes, or significant daytime fatigue, please do not dismiss these as just aging. Talk to your doctor. Ask specifically about sleep quality. Ask for a sleep study if needed. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea are extremely common in seniors and dramatically worsen the brain damage caused by poor sleep. Many people don't even know they have it, and it's treatable. Your brain is working for you every moment of every day. It deserves the best possible conditions to recover and restore itself every night. And the good news, the genuinely hopeful news, is that the brain is remarkably adaptable. Studies show that improving sleep quality, even in people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, leads to measurable improvements in memory, mood, and cognitive function. It's not too late. It's never too late to give your brain what it needs. So tonight, try something different. Turn the TV off, make the room dark, give your brain the silence and the darkness it has been asking for. You might be surprised how different you feel after just a few nights, and after a few weeks, you may look back and realize one small change made one of the biggest differences of your life. If this video was helpful to you, please share it with someone you care about, a parent, a spouse, a friend, because this information could genuinely protect someone's mind, and that's worth sharing. Take care of yourself. Your brain is